everybody, and thank you for joining us. A crowd of people demanding change to gun laws swarmed the Tennessee state capitol today, urging lawmakers to act immediately in the wake of Monday's tragic school shooting in Nashville. The demonstration comes as police have released the 911 gunshots as a teacher pleads for cops to hurry.
Picture a world where the innocence of youth is shattered by the haunting reality of school shootings, committed by some of the youngest offenders in history. These tragic tales reveal the dark undercurrents of bullying, mental health struggles, and the accessibility of firearms that drove these young individuals to commit unthinkable acts. From the chilling attack by T.J. Lane at Chardon High School to the heartbreaking rampage of Mitchell Johnson and Andrew Golden at Westside Middle School, we delve into the heart-wrenching stories behind these violent outbursts. What led these children to such extremes, and what can be done to prevent future tragedies? Join us as we uncover the motives, the aftermath, and the quest for answers in a journey through some of the most devastating school shootings that forever changed the lives of countless families and communities. Stay tuned, because the truths revealed are both harrowing and essential. T.J. Lane. On the morning of February 27, 2012, Chardon High School seemed like any other day. Students greeted each other as they made their way to classrooms. But for 17-year-old T.J. Lane, this day was anything but normal. Armed with a Ruger Mk3 Target .22 caliber semi-automatic handgun stolen from his uncle, Lane arrived at the school with a heavy heart and a sinister plan. At 7:30 a.m., as students sat in the cafeteria, Lane targeted a specific table and began shooting. His victims were Daniel Parmertor, Russell King Jr., and Demetrius Hewlin. 6 students were injured before Lane fled the scene, only to be arrested shortly after. Daniel, Russell, and Demetrius succumbed to their injuries, leaving a community in mourning. Lane's motive was unclear, though it was suggested he had a personal rivalry with one of the victims. He was sentenced to 3 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole. Jeff Wise. On March 21, 2005, 16-year-old Jeffrey Wise took a Ruger Mk2 .22 caliber pistol and shot his grandfather, Darrell Lussier Sr., and his grandfather's girlfriend, Michelle Sagana. Donning his grandfather's bulletproof vest and armed with 2 police-issued weapons, Wise drove to Red Lake Senior High School. He killed security guard Derek Brune and continued his rampage, entering a classroom where he asked students if they believed in God, shooting those who affirmed or hesitated. 16-year-old Jeffrey May attempted to disarm Wise but was critically wounded. Wise continued firing until law enforcement arrived, engaging in a shootout before retreating to a classroom and taking his own life. The Red Lake community, predominantly of the Red Lake Band of Chippewa Indians, was left grappling with the tragedy and seeking answers to the influences behind Wise's actions. John Jason McLaughlin. In the summer of 2003, 15-year-old John Jason McLaughlin decided he could no longer endure the bullying from 14-year-old Seth Bartell. On September 24, 2003, McLaughlin brought a .22 caliber Colt pistol to Rocori High School, Minnesota. He shot Bartell and 17-year-old Aaron Rollins, who died instantly. Bartell succumbed to his injuries 16 days later. McLaughlin was found guilty of first and second-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison. The trial revealed a troubled teenager struggling with mental health issues and torment from bullying. Diagnosed with schizophrenia and major depression, McLaughlin's case highlighted the severe consequences of bullying and the need for mental health support in schools. Kip Kinkle. On May 21, 1998, 15-year-old Kip Kinkle arrived at Thurston High School armed with 2 hunting knives, a .22 caliber Ruger Mk2 pistol, and a semi-automatic rifle. He opened fire, killing 2 students and injuring 24 others before being subdued. The previous day, Kinkle had murdered his parents. Pleading guilty to murder and attempted murder, Kinkle's case drew national attention to juvenile violence and gun control issues. Kinkle's fascination with firearms and history of violent behavior, compounded by depression, painted a portrait of a deeply troubled youth. The Thurston High School shooting remains one of Oregon's deadliest school shootings, prompting discussions on mental health and security measures. Kenneth Bartley. On November 8, 2005, 15-year-old Kenneth Bartley brought a .22 caliber pistol to Campbell County Comprehensive High School. During a confrontation with school officials, he shot and killed Assistant Principal Ken Bruce, wounding Principal Gary Seal and Assistant Principal Jim Pierce. Bartley, who had stolen the weapon to trade for drugs, was sentenced to 45 years in prison after pleading guilty to second-degree murder and attempted murder. Bartley's history of substance abuse and behavioral problems underscored the need for better support systems for students dealing with addiction and mental health issues. The shooting prompted a review of school safety protocols and measures to support troubled students. Jared Padgett. On June 10, 2014, 15-year-old Jared Michael Padgett brought an AR-15 type rifle, a semi-automatic handgun, and 9 loaded magazines to Reynolds High School in Troutdale, Oregon. He killed 14-year-old Emilio Hoffman and injured teacher Todd Rispler before taking his own life. Known for his serious demeanor and fascination with firearms, Padgett's actions shocked the community and raised concerns about the influence of violent media. The incident highlighted the need for stringent firearm accessibility laws for teenagers. Jalen Freiberg. On October 24, 2014, 15-year-old Jalen Freiberg sent text messages to his family and friends, indicating his intentions. Bringing a .40 caliber Beretta PX4 Storm handgun to Marysville-Pilchuck High School, he opened fire in the cafeteria, killing 4 students and injuring several others before taking his own life. Motivated by romantic rejection and personal issues, Freiberg's actions devastated the Marysville community. The incident underscored the need for better mental health resources and support for teenagers facing emotional and psychological challenges. Gabriel Ross Parker. On January 23, 2018, 15-year-old Gabriel Ross Parker opened fire at Marshall County High School, killing 2 students and injuring 18 others. Arrested and sentenced to life in prison, Parker's case revealed a teenager disconnected from peers and society. Viewing the shooting as an experiment, the incident emphasized the importance of early intervention and support for students exhibiting signs of distress and alienation. Parker's background highlighted the critical need for a supportive and inclusive school environment. Michael Phelps. On March 25, 2011, 15-year-old Michael Phelps shot his former friend CJ twice in the stomach at Martinsville West Middle School. Convicted of attempted murder, Phelps was sentenced to 35 years in prison. Banned from the school and struggling with emotional issues, Phelps's confrontation with CJ escalated quickly, resulting in the shooting. The case highlighted the necessity for effective conflict resolution and support for troubled students. Charles Andrew Williams. On March 5, 2001, 15-year-old Charles Andrew Williams brought a .80-22 caliber revolver to Santana High School, killing 2 students and injuring 13 others before surrendering to police. Williams was sentenced to 50 years in prison. Williams, who had been bullied and was dealing with depression, planned the attack as revenge. The Santana High School shooting emphasized the devastating impact of bullying and the importance of mental health support in educational settings. Michael Carneal. On December 1, 1997, 14-year-old Michael Carneal opened fire at Heath High School, killing 3 students and injuring 5 others. Carneal was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 25 years. Dealing with bullying and mental health issues, Carneal brought a stolen pistol to school and targeted a prayer group. The Heath High School shooting, one of the first major school shootings in the U.S., highlighted the need for better security measures and mental health resources. James Scott Newman. On March 14, 2006, 14-year-old James Scott Newman brought a revolver to Pine Middle School and shot 2 students. Newman was sentenced to complete 200 hours of community service while under house arrest. Newman, taunted by his family, decided to bring a gun to school to stop the bullying. The incident raised questions about firearm accessibility and the importance of addressing family dynamics and emotional support for children. Asa Kuhn. On October 10, 2007, 14-year-old Asa Kuhn brought 2 revolvers to Success Tech Academy. He shot and injured 4 people before taking his own life. Kuhn's history of behavioral problems and suspension from school culminated in this tragic event. The shooting highlighted the need for comprehensive behavioral interventions and mental health services in schools to prevent such occurrences. Vincent Wayne Leodoro. On February 23, 2006, 14-year-old Vincent Wayne Leodoro brought a semi-automatic pistol to Roseburg High School and shot Joseph Monty, critically injuring him. Leodoro was found guilty of attempted murder. Leodoro's background included family issues and exposure to violence. The incident emphasized the impact of environmental factors on youth behavior and the need for supportive and stable environments for children. Nathaniel Brazil. On May 26, 2000, 13-year-old Nathaniel Brazil shot and killed teacher Barry Grunow at Lake Worth Community Middle School. Brazil was sentenced to 28 years in prison. Brazil, sent home for misbehavior, returned with a handgun and confronted Grunow. The case highlighted the need for effective disciplinary measures and secure storage of firearms to prevent access by minors. Jose Reyes. On October 21, 2013, 12-year-old Jose Reyes opened fire at Sparks Middle School, injuring 2 students and killing teacher Michael Lansbury before taking his own life. Reyes, bullied and showing signs of distress, carried out the attack, emphasizing the importance of early intervention and support for students experiencing bullying and mental health issues. Mitchell Johnson and Andrew Golden. On March 24, 1998, 13-year-old Mitchell Johnson and 11-year-old Andrew Golden carried out a shooting at Westside Middle School, killing 4 students and 1 teacher and injuring 10 others. Tried as juveniles, they were found guilty. Johnson and Golden planned the attack as revenge for perceived slights. The Westside Middle School shooting, one of the first instances of such young perpetrators, led to changes in handling juvenile offenders in the legal system. Buell Elementary School shooting. On February 29, 2000, a 6-year-old boy brought a .32 caliber handgun to Buell Elementary School and fatally shot his classmate, Kayla Rowland. The boy's uncle, who owned the gun, was charged with involuntary manslaughter. The involvement of such young children shocked the nation, highlighting the critical need for secure firearm storage. The case led to increased efforts to promote gun safety and responsible ownership. Rich Neck Elementary School shooting. On January 6, 2023, a 6-year-old boy brought a 9mm pistol to Rich Neck Elementary School and intentionally shot his teacher, Abigail Zwerner, who survived the attack. The Rich Neck Elementary School shooting underscored the alarming reality that even very young children can access firearms and commit violent acts. The incident led to renewed calls for stricter gun control measures and comprehensive safety protocols in schools.